today also, despite your busy schedule, sir, you are here to support us. I would request you to deliver the keynote address, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vineet. Distinguished guests, excellencies, colleagues, Shri S.N. Pradhan, Global CEO of CyberPeace, General Pant, National Cybersecurity Coordinator, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. And it's really heartening to know the kind of diverse people which Global CyberPeace Foundation is able to bring to this summit. And I would begin by congratulating the organizers for convening this kind of an event and promote a diverse set of discussions and trying to collaborate between different stakeholders, which is really the need of the hour to take the country and the society forward. And as I was listening even here, this summit has really brought together an extraordinary diversity of voices representing people from the government, the parliamentarians, the law enforcement, defense leaders, technology platforms, industry, academia, civil society, and citizens. This diversity is not just incidental, it reflects a fundamental truth of the digital age. Cybersecurity, trust, and safety are no longer the responsibility of any single institution or sector. It really represents a whole of society approach to cybersecurity and to basically excellence, and that is something which this global CyberPeace is doing, and I must compliment all the partners and the founders of Global Peace for this. As you are all aware, we are living in a digital world where the technology is growing at a very fast pace, and we witness the technology is changing and new and emerging technologies acting as enablers as well as disruptors at the same time. Emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence and quantum computing and blockchain, they are reshaping the strategic calculus of cybersecurity. Artificial intelligence, for example, offers powerful tools for threat detection and resilience, but also enables sophisticated misinformation campaigns and autonomous cyber attacks. Quantum computing threatens to upset the foundations of modern cryptography. Blockchain introduces decentralized and architectures that challenge traditional banking paradigms. Understanding and engaging with such technologies will enhance India's ability to be future ready and cyber safe. Our digital public infrastructure is an integrated, interoperable and inclusive system about which the previous speaker also spoke. It underpins the nation's digital economy, enabling transparency, inclusivity and efficiency in public service delivery. While these advancements have driven economic growth and citizen convenience, they also expand the attack surface and introduce new vulnerabilities. And keeping in mind the global order, which is undergoing a fundamental shift and strategic competition, is increasingly playing out in the cyberspace as well. The cyber capabilities have become the chosen tool of influence, espionage and hybrid conflict, blurring the boundaries between peace and war. There are systemic, persistent and deeply intertwined geopolitical imperatives where state and non-state actors exploit weaknesses to undermine critical infrastructure, erode trust and disrupt societies. So in effect, while cyberspace has provided opportunities to citizens, business and governments to thrive, it also harbors ever-evolving threats from malicious actors which can cause serious harm to the socio-economic, political stability and security of the country. The critical infrastructure essential to keep the country functioning bears the brunt of these attacks from well-resourced adversaries, with over 1 billion users relying on digital platforms for services ranging from banking to healthcare, telecom, power and transport. The potential for cyber threat-based disruption has grown significantly. The cascading nature of the effects across entities, sectors, and geographies heighten the risk of cross-sector damage and unintentional spread from localized attacks. The easy availability of malicious skills, resources, and services have enabled low-cost attack options with deniability. The emergence of AI will add to the kitty of the malicious actors as well. The threat landscape has expanded from basic viruses to ransomware, phishing vectors, stage-backed advanced cyber threats, supply chain infections, and tailored attacks on operational technology such as supervisory control and data acquisition systems, which can disrupt essential services. The impetus towards smart cities and devices have rendered the Internet of Things devices susceptible to botnet attacks, data leaks, and manipulation. Adversaries have been using cyber warfare as a key component of grey zone operations even in peacetime. Espionage and pre-positioning in the networks have become an opportunistic enterprise, undermining the rules-based order in the cyber world. In a situation where the intent of pre-positioning is at times difficult to discern, the potential for escalation remains high. There has been a rise in the distributed denial of service and defacement attacks by state actors and activists targeting the cyberspace during major events. Along with actual impact, malicious actors are aiming to create a psychological effect on the citizenry through the optics of breach to instill a sense of vulnerability and undermine the trust and digital sovereignty. The volumes and sophistication of cybercrime leveraging fraudulent identities pose an especially formidable challenge. Recent conflicts have also seen weaponization of emerging technologies and big tech companies based on geopolitical and commercial interests. Semiconductor and space markets to strategic technology acquisitions have become susceptible to national security regulatory headwinds, which impinge directly on national cybersecurity postures around the world. So, given this strategic context, I would like to say that in the current environment, the cybersecurity or cyber resilience is no longer just about reacting to incidents, it's more about anticipation, coordination, and sustained preparedness, where collaboration and cooperation would be the key to succeed. I've been told that three key themes have emerged from the summit, the three key themes. The first is that the trust and safety must be treated as foundational infrastructure. I totally agree with it. Just as physical infrastructure enables growth, digital trust enables innovation, inclusion, and security. Without trust, digital transformation cannot be sustainable. And secondly, the technology must be governed with responsibility. Artificial intelligence, data-driven systems, and emerging technologies must be adopted with clear safeguards, accountability frameworks, and human-centric values. Innovation and security are no longer competing goals, but they are mutually reinforcing, and the people who realize this would be the ones who would progress. And third, and most importantly, the capacity building and cooperation, which I already talked about the cooperation part. The law enforcement and policymakers to educators, platforms, and citizens. Skills awareness and coordination would be the critical to strengthening national and global cyber resilience. Regarding the Indian approach, I think India has done really well in the digital domain, and India has been one of the leaders in showing the world the way to use the digital technology to enable the citizens and to enable the economy to grow. And we need to bring everyone together to ensure that we remain one of the key leaders in this space in the days to come. We have a good base and platforms such as these needs to take it forward. And as I see the various initiatives being taken by all these stakeholders, I sincerely think that we are on the right track. We at the national level, our aim is to have a more harmonized framework for cyber governance and for the cyber security in the country. We are basically aiming to do everything possible to build an enabling cybersecurity related ecosystem where we have the wherewithal and the necessary means to ensure cybersecurity while we move ahead in the digital and the emerging technology G era. Then our key focus will remain on capacity building. India is a country which has one of the largest pools of techies coming out every year, and we are ideally poised to become the global hub for cybersecurity talent, and we hope to build an India cyber stack, and we look forward to India becoming a place where we promote Indian companies who serve India and the world, and that is the vision which we carry at the National Cybersecurity Coordinator's Office. And all I can tell you is that we are working vigorously with all the ministries and with all the stakeholders to ensure that we realize the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister to become really Atmanirbhar in this field. And for that we are promoting all kinds of collaboration and partnerships with the private sector, with the academia, with the industry. We are doing a lot to promote R&D in this field, and I have no doubt that we have led the foundations in terms of building the required startup ecosystem, building the required the technological manpower capability, and we are trying to see that we build on the strengths of the various ministries and the various departments and the civil society, the private sector and the academia, to be able to really build an Atmanirbhar stack which will really give us the kind of the security and the lead which we want to build. Our focus remains on how do we ensure that globally we emerge as leaders in building the norms which ensure the peaceful use of all the emerging technologies. And AI Impact Summit is a classic example of India taking the lead and showing the world the way we are working with MITI to ensure that we do enough not only for the cybersecurity of AI, but we also become leaders in using AI for cybersecurity. A lot of initiatives are in the pipeline. I would just like to conclude by saying that we are doing everything possible to see that India becomes one of the leaders in the cybersecurity, and we become a responsible cyber power which is looked upon by the world as someone to emulate with. Coming back to this event, I once again have learned from the various stakeholders that the summit has done something unique in terms of taking things from dialogue to practical pathways forward, be it policy alignment and capacity building to technological readiness and international cooperation. The initiatives and partnerships announced here, I am sure, whether it is in workforce readiness, trust and safety frameworks or future-facing security challenges, are important steps. Their real impact will depend, however, on the consistent follow-through and sustained collaboration beyond this summit. But looking at the energy level of the participants, I am sure that all these initiatives would be carried forward to their logical end, and platforms such as this will give people the right kind of partnerships required to take these things forward. As we leave this gathering and as we move toward the end of this summit, I would encourage all the participants to view this not just as a conclusion but as a continuation. Cyber peace is not achieved in a single conference or a policy document. It is built over time through trust, shared responsibility and a willingness to engage across differences. The challenges before us are complex, but the conversations and the commitments I see of the individual speakers and the participants and the partners give me reason to be confident that we'll move in the desired direction. I'd once again like to thank CyberPeace, Pradhan sir, the partner institutions, speakers and participants for their contribution to this important platform and for giving me the opportunity to speak here. I would end by saying that we should carry the spirit of cooperation, realism and responsibility that has defined this summit and continue working together to ensure that the digital future is secure, inclusive and worthiness of the trust placed in it by our societies. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, and really thankful to your words of inspiration. And that's how, in fact, as a path for cyber peace, you rightly mentioned, it is basically a responsibility of everyone, that all stakeholders need to come together, and this is like a kind of, I would say, a perfect platform where all stakeholders are together. And on that note, we started on time and we have almost finished on time. And I have a very dear friend who is joining